Okay, hello everybody. Welcome back to another KPC weekend live. As you can notice, I am not in my usual background. I'm currently in Busan streaming at the moment in my father's lab. Yeah, I just needed a space with internet and without any bothering. But yeah, welcome back to another KPC weekend live. We have a full episode today ahead of us. We are going to discuss how BTS V and Sunny rocked LA and how much applaud they got. We're going to look into their amazing pictures and their pitches as well. Also, there has been a major scandal going around this week regarding BTS's Jimin because the question is, where is his privacy? A lot of people are furious regarding his ex. I don't know if I'm able to even call her that, but yeah, we'll be covering that. Also, the most important news in the world right now, Kim Jong-un, the supreme leader of North Korea, cried like a baby because he felt bad for something. Okay, we'll dissect that. And another huge news, if you tuned into my previous news for the past 2 weeks, I've mentioned the most hated man in Korea, which is Steve Yu. Go check out the episode if you haven't caught up with that. But Steve Yu actually won in court. This is wild. What does this mean for the Korean public? Will he be able to enter Korea? So other than that, we have a lot of society-related news today. So jam-packed episode. Before we go on, please hit that like button. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Any super chats and PayPals will be appreciated in the pinned comments and the description box below. And let me get on into the greetings. Hello. Let me notice some people in the chat. Hello, everybody. Michelle, Kel, Yanni, Crash Override, Bo Mac, and Sunshine Dragon, Slav. Let me know, everybody, if the audio is good, chat is good, everything looking good. Yes, hello, everybody. And I'm slowly seeing the chat appear on the screen. It is very small, so let me try to magnify that, zoom into that a little later. But yeah, while we're at it, let me know where y'all are watching from, what time it is, and yeah, what topics you're interested about today. And let me just go adjust that chat box a little bit because it's way too small, right? So yes, as you are seeing in the change of background, I am in Busan. So I've been enjoying my birthday. It's been my birthday. Yay! I'm 33 officially now, international age, and in Korean age 34. So happy birthday to myself. I'm really thrilled to be 33, double threes, right? So yeah, I feel super old, but yeah, thanks everybody for the happy birthdays in advance, and for everybody who's gonna say it in the chat probably from now on. Everybody's who sent me DMs and presents via Instagram and all that kind of stuff. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Right now, I'm stacked on piles of happy birthday messages, which I haven't replied to yet. So yeah, that's gonna take a while for your reply to get through. So anyways, okay, let me try to adjust the font size a little bit bigger and let's see if that works out. Okay, so yeah, let's see the chat. Again, everybody saying happy birthday. Thank you so much. Feel the vibe. Hooray, Busan. Yes, back in Dad's lab. Yes, it's 10:15 in the US. Happy birthday. Thank you, Carolyn. And thank you, Tunisia. Katie girl, good morning. And Guadalupe, thank you for the happy birthday. How's the retirement plan coming along? What? Regarding Busan? I don't know. Busan seems chill. Busan is good. So yeah, I'll have to think about it. Since I'm 1 year older now. So, okay. So yeah, I think the chat looks a little bit better than before it's visible, right? So let me leave it like that and go on into the stream. Yes, and just to give you a heads up for tomorrow, so I promised you guys an outdoor IRL stream while I'm at it here in Busan. It's a once in a lifetime opportunity, right? When am I going to come to Busan again? Probably not in a while, realistically. But yeah, since I'm here, I wanted to do an IRL stream, but hear me out. There's a high chance of heavy rain tomorrow, so I am not sure if I'll be able to actually do it. So I've made the grand announcement, but the weather's not helping me. So let's keep our fingers crossed. Let's pray that the rain isn't too bad. Like if it's not too heavy, if it's drizzling, let me try to manage and get like an umbrella and show you around. If it's too much, then yeah, disappointingly, I won't be able to stream because my camera is very sensitive to water too, and I won't be able to, navigate through the city with like an umbrella and all that. So yeah, let's pray that it doesn't rain too much. I really want to show you guys the beautiful city I always praise about, Busan, yes. And yeah, okay. So, how did you travel? Train, of course, the KTX. It's Korea's bullet train, and it only takes 2.5 hours to Busan. So if you're in Seoul, I highly recommend visiting Busan because Busan is up there nowadays. It is super popular, and it's getting very, very hot among the tourists. Yeah, it's one of the most visited cities in Korea. I think like if you're in the area, probably Seoul, Busan, and Jeju might be the most go-to places. Yeah, very different culture, very different vibes, very oceanic, beachy, and also seafood's really nice. The people have a little bit more Jung towards you. A lot of mountains, and yeah, it's good. Busan is good, as I told you. So okay, we're starting a little slow since we only have 100 viewers so far. I think it's because it's not the typical time I usually stream at. I usually stream on Sundays, but today is a Saturday. I had to make this adjustment because of the rain. I should have flipped it over. I should have done the IRL stream today and the regular stream tomorrow, but it is what it is. Okay, so yes, enough with the happy birthdays, and yeah, shall we go on? I visited Busan in April, and it was pretty quiet than when I visited a couple years ago. Okay, maybe it's the seasonality, but yeah. Okay, so let's go on into the news. Speaking of hot, something has been hot. Yeah, so it's none other than BTS V just heating up LA. Kim Tae-hyung has thrown the ceremonial first pitch at the Dodgers Stadium on Monday before the Dodgers versus the Reds game, making him the first BTS member to do so at an MLB game. His left-handed throw set the BTS track Mic Drop. Was set to the BTS track Mic Drop and was caught by the pitcher Yoshinobu Yamamoto. Yes, and we got a lot of pictures over here. Very handsome. He even got a hug with Otani. The two Asian goats meeting. The Korean and Japanese goats are just celebrating each other over here. What a nice looking batch of people over here. Like, the most handsome person in Korea, BTS V, probably the world too, and the most attractive alpha male of the century from Japan, representing Japan and all Asians out there. Wow, Shohei. Damn, like this is a two-shot that I would have never expected, but these two legends really met, and they are serving. They are really making us happy, right? So these are some pictures, but if we go on into the videos, they are more immense. So they finally met, and they were doing some photo shoots. A little bit awkward, I would say. I mean, the two industries don't really overlap that much, but they were very polite to each other. As you can see, V was like, oh, very nice to meet you, Shohei, and Shohei was the same too. I'm pretty sure V is very fluent in Japanese, but I guess because it's like an international setting, and he represents Korea too, like they're on an equal status. So I guess like the common ground there would have been using English So yeah, they did a brief greeting, and then it was a short interaction, but a lovely one. A lot of people were, just astonished by the interaction itself. I woke up and I was like, whoa, this actually happened? I mean, they're probably two of my favorite people in the world. Yeah, one my favorite athlete, my favorite K-pop idol. So my bias is meeting. This was definitely a legend. And if you see the number of likes over here, if you go to the MLB page and just compare it to the other posts, the number of likes are just phenomenal. It's incomparable. Like the, it just broke the MLB website and the Instagram webpage. So like you can actually see V pitching. This is a very very unique and rare occasion. And I don't know if any other BTS member has done this before, but I think it's a first. And he's the perfect man to do it. Like he's been bulking up, he's been working out hard during the military, and now he's in LA and the Dodger Stadium. Apparently, okay, look at that pitch go. Yes, the left-hander. Oh yes, and Yamamoto caught it perfectly. Yamamoto actually commented that he didn't even have to do like adjust his mitt, and it was just there. That means it was a strike, spot on. And it's very rare for even as a male, like a lot of females do the ceremonial pitches, but oh, look at how them being super polite. Japanese and Korean person meeting in LA grounds and doing like the polite handshake. What a scene. But like even amongst fully grown up males and adults, like if you are standing on the mound, it's actually very hard to get a strike, like especially with velocity and accuracy and all that. Distance is pretty far. I've been there, and it's pretty hard. And I think V practiced pretty hard when he was on the pitch. And yeah, well done again. Okay, here's a replay, and yeah, that was great. So it was awesome watching this. Look at the amount of likes over here. 820K likes. That is crazy, guys. So yeah, if we see more pictures over here, oh my god, look at this crisp 4K photo. Yeah, we're all living. Oh my gosh, I'm going back to my fanboy days, like when I was like drooling over, nah, just hyping over V. But damn, he's handsome. Damn, I'm glad he's the first one to represent BTS on the mound, on the pitch. Yes, look at that. Oh, yes. Great. A lot of people actually told me that I kind of look like Shohei. Do you agree? Like, no, I'm not self-claiming this. A lot of people actually come to me and sometimes say that I look somewhat like Shohei, and that's a huge honor. I don't have any other similarities to Shohei. Like, I cannot compare to him as a human being, but yeah, at least some people point that out. But yeah, they were super nice interaction. Oh my god, look at his glowing skin under that Californian sun. Is that California? But yeah, that was amazing. Yeah, let me see some of your comments in the chat right now. You guys are probably so hyped over it as well too, right? So beautiful, honey skin, so beautiful, and not whitewashed. Yes, that was some good pictures, genuine photos. You do look like him. Thank you, Laura. Yeah, I can see that. You sure you're not being racist, hey? His pitch was a lot better than another idols that I like. Oh, which idol was that? He did so good, for sure. Yes, he got a nice California tan as well. He got that vitamin D, exactly. I guess it made sense because like BTS is coiling up for their new release soon in California right now. They're doing a lot of works and songs in LA from what I know. So yeah. Go V, great pitch. David is much better. Oh, don't flatter me. I mean, it's my birthday, but yeah, that's very polite. You could be his cousin. Yeah, let me just speak in Japanese from now on and claim to all the girls, say like, oh, actually, I'm Shohei Ohtani's cousin. Especially with like a baseball cap on, maybe I should get a Dodgers hat and like wear a Shohei jersey and go to like a look-alike contest. A lot of those happen nowadays. I think there was like a Mark look-alike contest. There was another celebrity look-alike contest. But yeah, I don't know. Okay. Now that you say you look like him a little bit, I didn't see it before. Okay, thank you. Thank you for recognizing. That's the biggest compliment in my life. And while we're at it, 170 people have gathered. Please hit that like button. Why is my tongue like becoming a Korean pronunciation? Please like that like button. Yes, please. Okay. Yeah, so speaking of my appearance and my birthday though, I actually got a photo shoot the other day before for my own profile pic. It was not planned, but coincidentally it was nearby my birthday, and while the photos were being edited and photoshopped by the studio, it just got delivered on my birthday, and I was like, oh, okay, right occasion, let me post it on Instagram. So it was like my first post in 10 years on Instagram. Like a lot of my influencer friends point out, you need to be a little bit more active on Instagram. So yeah, if you go to my Instagram right now, we do some promo, justdavid92 underscore. Yeah, go check it out. And if you go to my Instagram, there's a newly updated photo over here. Oh, look at that handsome guy smiling towards you. Yeah. And this photo over here. Yeah, look at the New Year, New Me vibes. Officially 33, standard Korean style photo. I swear I told him to go easy on the Photoshop. Not gonna lie, wish they could have slimmed me a little bit more. But yeah, I guess it's extra motivation for 2026. And the behind the scenes, photography asked me if I'm actually a doctor and taking a profile pic for my hospital. That was so funny. I don't know. He came up to me carefully afterwards and he was like, "May I ask what kind of work you do?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm just like a content creator." And he's like, "Oh, I thought you were a doctor because of the picture." Like, cause like if you look at the pictures, it's like very white, and like this is a standard picture you would see on like a medical advertisement where the doctors are like in gowns. I actually have a gown over here. This is a lab gown, but they're in gowns, and you can see like these advertisement billboards in Gangnam or Shinsa area where there's a lot of dermatologists and plastic surgeons. But yeah, I like my photos. Yeah. Initially, they came a little, too puffy, so I kind of told them to like slim it down a little bit more, like 5% more, subtle, a little bit. But I like how they turned out, and I of course selected the smiling picture as the front page because smiles are always beautiful, right? And yeah, I have yet to reply to all of your comments over here. I'm sorry, but let me go through them when I got some time. I got a lot of comments. But go like it for me, and also check it out. Like follow me on Instagram if you want updates. As you can see, I've been uploading stories of my Busan trip so far. I went to this shabu shabu place with a nice view with my mom and grandma for a little celebration for my birthday. It was a buffet style with like Korean pancakes, shabu shabu, all you can eat, fruit and ice cream and fried rice. And also I went to Kwangali Beach right in front of my place and saw the fireworks. Yeah, this is crazy. Like they're doing rapid fire over there. Yeah, so yeah, you could see that. And also, if you move on, I also got a little story about like these puppy. It looks like a puppy group or whatever, like owner of these particular breed. And this is how in front of my house looks like. I really want to show you this in real life tomorrow if the weather allows me to. But it's really beautiful. It's got really chill vibes. It's one of my favorite places. Literally in Korea, right in front of my house. It's really just hot and popular and booming nowadays. A lot of young people, very lively, but too bad it's gonna be raining tomorrow. They have an 80% chance of rain. Boo hoo. But yeah, like here's my birthday post. Wow, I'm old as F with my two doggos and what I learned throughout this year, becoming new year, another year older, and count my blessings was actually my biggest realization. Most things don't matter as much as they seem, and yeah, that kind of stuff. So yeah, if you want to go check out my updates on Instagram, go follow me on justdavid_92. Yes, 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 yes. Okay, guys, on to the next news. Yes. Okay, what are you guys talking about? Let me check. Let me actually get the chat out so I can see it more better. Saw the food. Shabu shabu looks so good. I know, right? Yes, please. Would love to see that. Also, hi, just joined. Hello, Midnight Dreams. Thank you for the happy birthday with my doggos. Yes, looking fly, David. Okay. And 200 people. Yes, finally people gathering. Welcome, welcome, everybody. I'm so glad this is working out because I was kind of, I always get like I always get nervous whenever I'm streaming in new settings. But yeah, here we are at my dad's lab for the newcomers in the chat. Yeah. Okay, so let's go on. So yeah, let's go back to V actually. Like we were at V. So he actually did like a ceremonial, comment or something, and did a little mic drop. But if you actually listen to the footage over here, I can't like make it listen to you guys, but if you actually listen to the audio, the applaud is crazy. Like actually, the reporters at the real site and the Korean broadcasters actually commented that they've never heard such a loud crowd before in the Dodgers Stadium. So yeah, that just proves how influential, how much fans he has. Like at this point, we're not even surprised, but the broadcasters were, and probably the local Dodgers fans that don't know about BTS or K-pop at all. They were like, "Who is this guy?" And then people are screaming their lungs out. Yeah, so it was really cool to see that. It's time for Dodger baseball. Yes, that's what he said, assumably. And okay, and on top of that, I don't know what's going on with the Dodgers. They're having a streak of Korean superstars visiting them right now. So afterwards, like 2 days afterwards from V, Sunny, the national soccer football star of Korea, actually visited the Dodgers Stadium as well. And superstar footballer Son Heung-min tossed a perfect strike at the Dodgers Stadium. It was crazy. And yeah, his style was kind of unique, I would say. Like, I don't know what's going on with these pants. Like, bro, like, I don't know who styled him. And also the cap over here, the New Era hat. I don't know why the stylist made him look like a Lego. He literally looks like a Lego over here. But yeah, look at that. Like, I mean, the photographer here did him dirty. It looks like he's doing some kind of ballet move or whatever. Apparently, he's an athletic guy. He's one of the best soccer players out there. But I'm saying soccer because now he's in the MLS, the major. Is that short for Major League Soccer? Probably, right? So I heard that the MLB and MLS are somehow related. So yeah, they invited him, and this is even a collaborative post if you can see over here. But they did him dirty with this picture. Yeah, but he did an actually nice pitch. Yeah, I don't know why he chose that hat over the normal cap. But yeah, he did like a light pitch over here, did the nice bow, and it was a nice day for everybody in the stadium. The Dodgers fans are getting it. They are getting it. The past week, Sunny and V all visiting them. Damn, they are blessed. Yeah, yeah. The dude, always sunshine. His nickname is Sunshine because he always shines upon the team, and he's always smiling. He's always super nice, good vibes. Another nickname is Sensational. So yeah, that was epic as well. Yes. So yeah, the Dodgers being blessed in a row. I'm very jealous because the last time I was in America, I was in Anaheim, and I was lucky enough to grab some very last minute seats in the Angel Stadium, and I solely went there to see Ohtani pitch, and I was like super excited because Ohtani is like the GOAT, right? And yeah, I actually got to see him pitch, and he was super good. But unfortunately, the game turned out to be only like 1-0, and the Angels actually lost. So there were no hitters, no home runs, no sparks. So that was kind of anticlimactic. But I really wish I could go to the Dodgers Stadium one time in the future, in the near future, and see, you know. We have a Korean player in the Dodgers as well too, Kim Hae-sung. He's currently in the minor league. No, I think it's like double A or something, but he often appears in the major, like the first roster as well too. So yeah, that, and I want to see Shohei. There's also a Dodgers player that's half Korean from what I know. His name is Hyunsu, yeah, in Korean. And yeah, I just got a super chat. Let me check that. It was on the screen, but I missed it because I was so busy hyping over Sunny and V. Okay, Renee Watley, thank you for the 50 pizza. Thank you so much for the super chat. Happy 33rd, right? 33rd birthday. I hope you have many more birthdays and they are blessed. I'm from Alabama and I love BTS and ATEEZ. Two solid groups to stand. Really nice. Thank you so much, Renee. Really appreciate the generosity and the congrats and celebrations. Thank you so much. Whoa, $50. Yes, let's keep them coming, guys. Let's keep them coming. Show me some love. Show me the money. You know what? Like, totally out of the blue, like totally random, but you know the Korean hip hop show, Show Me the Money. So I always thought, like, you know, that was a coined phrase from the show because, like, you know, like I have good fluent English, but I don't have like a depth in idiomatic or, you know, cultural context in the language itself. And I always thought like it was a term that that Korean hip hop show made. But I was watching some other hip hop related thing on Reels randomly the other day, and like way before there was a phrase called "Show Me the Money." I think it was. It was a very famous hip hop rapper saying it, and come to think of it, there was like also a cheat code on StarCraft as well, and it was "Show Me the Money," and it gave you like infinite money if you type that in the game. But anyways, just got on my mind. What a throwback! Show me the money. Yes, come to San Francisco and said Jung-hoo Lee. Yeah, I'd like to. Yeah, the Korean player Jung-hoo Lee. He's been on a slump, but nowadays he's reviving a little bit. The Koreans all over the world making us proud. Yes, and you're the same age as Heung-min. Yes. We always say among our friend groups, like among the 92 liners, like Heung-min and BTS Jin are the most successful. Yeah. Like we're like, oh, what are us? What does that make us? Us comparing us to the top 0.1% of our age group in Korea. Yes, Elfie Elf, Busan is the first place I want to visit. I am poor. I feel like we all are. Yeah, so I'm saving for a future trip. Looking forward to your live. Thank you so much. Hopefully, the weather really stays dry. Fix your PIP mode audio levels. Oh, has it been weird? Let me go check it out. Oh yeah, sorry. Thanks for pointing that out. I hope that it was bearable until this point. Yes, not David yapping and already not seeing super chats. The Padres had Ha-sung Kim, but I think he moved to Tampa Bay recently. Yes. It's from a movie. It's from the movie Jerry Maguire. Yeah, I think so. I think I saw that. Yeah. Okay. Tom Cruise said in Jerry Maguire. Yeah. Right. I saw that movie. It's about Tom Cruise being the agent, right? And he's trying to like scout, like, you know, this player. Yeah, I saw that movie. That was a interesting movie. Oh, so that phrase was from that movie, right? I think I've seen it there. Yes. It was bearable, but I also noticed. Okay, but thank you so much for pointing that out. So we are good to go. And wait, let me see if the flash... Oh, without the flash, it's horrible. So Okay, and yeah, let me just adjust the flash a little bit to make it a little bit more brighter, because more light would be always good, right? There we go. We got a brighter flash. Let there be light, and there was light. Okay, there we go. I look more beautiful now. Okay. So, yep, Sunny and V really rocked LA. So that was a big moment for all the fans in LA, K-pop and baseball fans united. So let's go on to the next news. We're going to be talking about BTS Jimin and how he got outed without his will. So the question is, where is his privacy? So what's been going on? Let me spill the tea. I'm pretty sure if you're an ARMY, you would have known about this news. But for the non-K-poppies, like little hints here and there, like Easter eggs or whatever you want to call it, on her social media. I don't know if intentionally or not, nobody can say, but a lot of people are suspecting that it was probably intentional because she wanted to flex. Who wouldn't want to, quite honestly, if you're a human being? But if you are dating BTS Jimin and you really love him and respect him, you would probably know the obvious backlash or the attention you are going to be getting, and if you really cared for him, you'd be more careful. But yeah, over the past years or a certain time period, she uploaded pictures with like similar phone cases or like accessories Jimin were wearing, or like at a music video background photo shoot, or at like Jimin's house with like the same sofa and all that, and people really figured out like, okay, they are at least friends. Like, we don't know if they're officially dating because HYBE actually never confirmed, or BTS Jimin never confirmed as well too. But yeah, like everyone were like, okay, like we get it. Yeah, girl, chill, you know? And yeah, at the end of the day, I can't 100% criticize, because like it might have been just, you know, her being very clumsy, and like she just took a picture of something and, oh, it happened to be Jimin's photo. Yeah, but Jimin's sofa. But anyways, but now she put the nail in the coffin. She actually dropped some literally in-person footage that Jimin appears in. So I will not actually show that footage in respect to Jimin, but since it's been circulated all over the internet, it's pretty easy to find on TikTok, Instagram, wherever, YouTube Shorts. You go look for it yourself. I just don't like, you know, like a footage that's been privacy infringed being on my channel. But like, look at this news, to give you the news over here. She waits for the elevator to come. It fast forwards from there, and when the elevator opens, Jimin's there standing with like a black beret hat, and yeah, like I don't think you can argue that it's not Jimin for real. So like she dropped this, I think, on her Instagram story or some, or TikTok, and she deleted it, but of course she knew it would be scrapped and it would be circulated on the internet. So yeah, so I mean, So and then afterwards, I don't know if it was beforehand and the media is quoting her from beforehand or afterwards. So there was some context before or after about her on this situation. So she was actually pretty riled up and furious about toxic fans, maybe obsessing over, like coming to her Instagram and saying bad stuff at her, like putting hate comments or malicious comments, getting like whatever harmful comments from the people. So yeah, of course, like on an individual level, yeah, there are some fans that might be aggressive, but you probably would have been able to avoid that if you were a little bit more discreet or careful, is what I'm trying to say. Yeah, she might claim she's the victim, and she said she wants to get. No, she didn't say this, but she said something along the notes that, like, yeah, there you go, the footage. Like, let's end this once and for all. That kind of vibes. Yeah, she didn't say that, so don't sue me or anything. But yeah, she was pretty angry, and I think she wanted to just prove that it was actually real. She was angry, and she wanted the crazy fans to back down, back off, and this happened. But I don't think it was a really nice way to deal with the situation. It actually poked at the hornet's nest, the bee nest. So yeah, currently I think she's getting a lot of hate online, and part of that is deserved. I would say it's safe to say it's deserved, because like that's what you'll get if you drop like a private footage of Jimin. And a lot of people actually, so I'm not sure on this too, like you verify on this, but a lot of people on the comments, especially armies, are saying like they probably dated like 6 to 7 years ago and it's an ended relationship. And her still dropping her after all this time is just, it's not it. Yeah, that's not polite, that's not manners, that's not respectful towards the relationship she had, allegedly or rumorously. But yeah, so thank you for the... Wait, the audio is out? Oh, damn. I don't know what part got cut out, but basically, just to wrap it up, yeah, Songdaeun, she, oh my god, where do I have to start? I'm getting stressed right now. Every time a technical issue occurs now, yeah, where should I start? Let me do a really quick recap for the people who might have been missing the whole thing. So, Jimin appeared on her footage. She, I don't know, unintentionally uploaded on her social media account and created a lot of buzz, negative buzz online. And it's apparently 6 to 7 years ago. Nobody knows. We can't verify. Jimin has not verified. Hybe has not verified. But she had some context of some crazy fans sending a lot of hateful and malicious messages towards her. So she wanted to verify, or she wanted to like actually put out footage that shows that she actually wasn't in a relationship or whatever her agenda was. Maybe she slipped. I don't know, but she's getting a lot of hate right now. And I was just saying that she could have probably avoided that if she was not that clumsy in the first place, or she didn't drop those breadcrumbs. I feel sorry about her hate comments and all that from an individual level, of course, but like that's the amount of attention and backlash you're going to get if you spill the breadcrumbs about you and a BTS member. Yeah, like right now, she's getting an enormous amount of hate, and I think that's partially deserved because she probably knew what was coming on her way, and despite that, she decided to drop that. And I think this is very disrespectful to Jimin's privacy, and it was obviously against his will. Obviously, yeah. There's no way he could have, consented on this going out. Like, no way. Yeah, and a lot of people saying that their relationship ended like a couple years ago, and if that's the case, this is seriously a big problem and very disrespectful to Jimin. So yeah, anyway, sorry for the cuts in the audio, but yeah, that's basically what happened. And yes, you can go check out the footage yourself on the internet. But yep, let's look at some of your comments, what you guys are saying in the chat. Yeah, since I don't have a dual monitor right now, it's really hard to go back and forth with the chat. So please understand, I might miss a lot of your messages, which is why I missed your audio thing in the first place. Still doesn't have audio? Really? What? It still doesn't have audio? Okay. Wait. Okay, maybe I should use this one. Yeah, still no audio? Or does this work? Yeah, this probably did the trick. Oh my gosh. I am very, very stressed. I'm sweating, I'm stressed. Yeah, let me shrink the okay. Little technical maintenance, guys. Bear with it, please. Bear with me for a while. There we go. Okay. You can hear. Okay. Thank you so much. Yeah, oh my gosh, I need some water. Give me a second. Okay, guys, this is what happens when I'm not in my normal studio. Okay, guys, let's go on. Let's go on to the next news. I hate when this happens, honestly. Yeah, but I'm really thankful that 351 people are still watching. Please hit that like button for me. And did I miss a super chat? Probably, right? Let me check. KB, thank you for letting me know that the audio goes out when you flip to the alt screen. Thank you for the $2. Really appreciate that. Pizza, let's go on. Okay, okie dokie. So, next news is a hot one too. So, on the last stream, I let you guys know who the most hated guy in Korea is. It is a guy called Steve Yu. And to give you some context, this guy ditched military service when he was at the peak of his career. He went to the US for some excuses, and he never returned, claiming his US citizenship, and he dodged the military service, and Korea got furiated and banned him forever from entering the country. So he's been trying multiple times to enter the country, and he's been going through lawsuits. But he's won already 2 times in the past, and this was actually his 3rd one. And the problem is, okay, so what's going on right now? So Yoo Seung-jun, his Korean name, Steve Yu. So this is him over here. And the Seoul Administrative Court on Thursday ruled in favor of Korean American singer Steve Yu, also known as Yoo Seung-jun, in a case to challenge the South Korean government's decision to not issue him a visa to enter the country. The court ruled against the South Korean Consulate General in Los Angeles' refusal to issue an F4 visa for overseas Koreans to Yu, rejecting officials' claims that denying Yu's entry is necessary for the public good. Yu evading military service in 2002 by renouncing his Korean citizenship resulted in him from being banned from entering South Korea, a decision that he has challenged on 3 different occasions in court. It cannot be, and the court said in this ruling, It cannot be considered that Yu's actions and words could inflict damages upon the safety of Korea. Yeah, I was telling you, like, honestly, I understand the sentiment, but it's a little bit of a stretch that he's going against the national safety or security issues, right? So maintaining order in diplomatic relations, Yu's rights are being infringed upon a larger scale compared to the public interest that could be gained from banning his entry. So yeah, the court is basically saying it's unfair for an individual to bear all of this for years and years, just because of the fact that people are arguing that this goes against Korea's safety and maintaining order in diplomatic relations. And quite honestly, I understand the court's ruling of, after all, we are a lawful nation, and if the court says that, we are to abide by it. But what's tricky is, so you might think, oh, okay, so he can finally enter Korea, but that's not the case. He will not be able to. There's a high probability that he'll still not be able to enter Korea, because if you look at the ruling very closely, and if you examine the articles that are coming out that actually, analyzes and goes more further into the ruling, what the court did is that it rejected the LA consulate's rejection itself. So technically, what happened is the LA General Consulate made a decision that he cannot get a visa to enter Korea, right? That decision was made, and the court said that's not fair, so scrap that. So it goes back to zero, ground zero, right? So he can file for another visa with the LA consulate. But if they reject it again, it's going to go to the same point over and over again. So this court ruling might be a good, I guess, public PR thing for him, because like he's saying the law is stating that there are no legal grounds for him to not enter the country and whatnot, and this might shift some minds or whatever. He might win some opinions on his side, but at the end of the day, if the LA General Consulate does not issue a visa for him, he will not be able to enter Korea. And even after that, even if he gets a visa, there's the Ministry of Justice. That's also another barrier that might just reject him at the immigration point or just as a whole. So there are two barriers he needs to penetrate in order to come to Korea, and all this ruling did was, go back to point A, and if the consulate rejects him again, it's a never-ending loop. So yeah, apparently the law works like that, and if you go further on into the ruling itself too, the court actually said that they admit what he did was wrong. So yeah, there is some basis in his denial of the visa or entering Korea. Yeah. Anyways, it's a tricky situation. I cannot explain thoroughly because I'm not a legal expert or anything, but that is the situation. It's like Dormammu, I would say. If you know the Doctor Strange and multiverse, madness of the multiverse reference, he's like Doctor Strange, and he's continuously objecting, and he's filing these lawsuits, and he's winning every single time, but he's getting rejected every single time. Actually, Doctor Strange would be Korea and the Judiciary Department and the LA Consulate, and he would be Dormammu, maybe, because he's not getting what he wants. So he's like, Dormammu, I've come to bargain, I've come to make a deal, and he gets rejected again, Dormammu. So yeah, that's what's happening. Koreans would just change the law to just keep him away. I feel like that might be a plausible scenario. Yeah, I've seen in the comments for this update, the most upvoted one was, yeah, let's make sure that his soul doesn't even enter Korea after he's deceased. Damn, they go hard. They be hard, right? Poor guy. I've come to bargain. Dormammu, I've come to bargain. Masspay says he's shameless. He wants to go back after ditching his country. He only wants to go back now because he's too old to go to the military. Yeah. If he says that he's going to serve in the military now, I think, people would accept him in a heartbeat. Yeah, they'd really like to see. But then there will be pro-complainers and pro-criticizers saying like, oh no, you got to do your full military service back then when it was like 3 years. Like now it's shortened to 1.5 years or something. So you're no way you're getting a shortened service period. Maybe he can pay a big fee and be accepted. I don't know, guys. Like the sentiment here is pretty rough. So yeah, it's going to be tough for him. I think there's an international court that deals with human rights, and a country breaking a court order is grounds for substantial compensation. Who knows? I don't know. He'll probably do whatever he can to visit his own country. But yeah, I as I told you before, like I stand upon the public sentiment that the principles of our society should be maintained. So if someone ditches military service, which is sacred and a sacrifice on an individual level, and is a duty of a Korean citizen, and if you don't want to withhold that duty and oblige by it, then you shouldn't get the rights of being a Korean citizen or whatever. So I understand that, but if you look at it in like a more of a kind of subjective but also objective way at the same time, it's been like 23 years or something, and I think if he were to do business here, then that would be a big problem. If he were to do like profitable activities here, then that's definitely a no-no. But if it's just like visit, and he just wants to step foot on Korean soil because he misses it and maybe he has some relatives over here, or he just wants a good dish of pork belly or whatever. K-Town can never match up to Seoul or whatever. And, like he wants to feel the vibes of his own people, then I think it's a little too harsh to even ban, travel visas or whatnot. But as I told you, I don't know the full details of it. I don't even know what an F4 visa is and what the difference is with like a travel visa, or like the consulates denying all these things, rejecting all these kind of things. I'm just barely scraping the surface over here. But yeah, if that's the case, I think it's a little too harsh. But in general, I think it's very low in chance that he'll be able to come in the near future. Maybe in like another decade. Yeah, but anyways, yep. And offering money would just be triggering and fanning flames. Maybe, yeah. And Reem Jungkook is saying you are stupid. Thank you. Yeah. Okay. If that's towards me, I don't know what I did to offend you, but with that ID and profile and sending unnecessary hate and like a comment like that without context is basically spitting on your own face, I would like to say, and your bias's face. Yep. BTS members do not ask for favors or money from fans. If you're communicating with somebody who asks for a due or money, they are scammers. Stay away or block them. What? What's going on over here? Okay, I don't understand the context that's going on in the chat. He was made an example. He wasn't the first or last to dodge military service in shady ways. Yeah, that's true. Okay. He is a U.S. citizen now, so if he wants to serve in the military after all these years, he has to give up his U.S. citizenship. That's fair enough. Yeah, but oh wow, a U.S. citizenship. Oof. He relinquished his citizenship to dodge the military service. That is ultimate betrayal of his country. Yeah. F4 visa is for people of Korean descent to allow them to work and live in Korea. Okay, now then that's a problem. Work and live might be a problem. For travel, I would say yes. So that's my stance. Like the dude has suffered enough. He's been made an example enough. And if the Ministry of Justice and the consulate doesn't grant him, as long as they don't grant him like a permanent residence visa or like work visa over here, then the example still stands. So I would say, like, if it's just for visit, if it's like an ESTA or whatever, yeah. F4 is the Korean heritage visa and means that you can return for a longer time and work. It's a lot more than a tourist visa. Oh no, then hell nah, hell nah. Thanks for letting me know. Yeah, but hell nah in that case. Exactly. Yeah. And let Reem do whatever he or she wants in the comments. Yeah, it's just spitting in his or her own face. And it's good for engagement anyways. It helps the chat, actually. It helps the stream. And right now we have more than 383 people watching. Thank you so much. Put that like button. Hit that like button. And I would appreciate it if you can show any kind of support via PayPal, Super Chat, or Patreon. Since it's my birthday. Yes, and okay, let's go on to some societal news. What's happening in Korea right now? We've covered pretty much all the celeb news, and KPC Live is not always about K-pop and celebs. A lot of people love society and political views as well too. So next news is a pretty groundbreaking change, I would say, in the educational scene in Korea. And I would have my assessment to this is like, we should have done it sooner. Like, this is obvious, but it took enough. It took such a long time. Okay, so what is happening? Right now, the law is going to limit student smartphone usage in class, and it is passed by a bipartisan vote. Students in Korea will be banned from using smartphones during class starting in the spring semester under a new law aimed at reducing digital overdependence and protecting classroom learning. The National Assembly on Wednesday passed a revision to the Elementary and Secondary Education Act that stipulates the default ban on the use of smart devices, including mobile phones, during class, in a vote that reflected rare bipartisan agreement between the Liberal Democratic Party and Conservative People Power Party. Under the new law, students will not be allowed to use smartphones during lessons unless given permission by teachers or principals for educational purposes or in emergencies. Students with disabilities or those receiving special education may use the devices as assistive tools with prior approval. So, about time. This is what I would have to say. About time. Like, this is long overdue. I have always been opposed on the standpoint that kids need their phones, especially smartphones, during class. They're too much of a big distraction. Kids need to interact, and schools need to be grounds for them to have human interaction, make relationships with their friends, not glued to their phones and swiping through Instagram Reels and brain rot content on TikTok and bullying each other on cyber prisons and Kakao Talk during class, and that kind of stuff. So I think it's for the good right now. Like, this should have been implemented a while ago. Back in our day, it was not like illegal to use phones, but like it was just illegal by school terms. Like the principal or our classroom teachers would just collect all our phones, or if we got caught using a phone, we would get like deductions from our grades or some penalties and something like that. So yeah, I think this should have been done a long time ago, and especially nowadays because there's smartphones. They're like not even 2G phones. Like back in the day when I used to go to school, we only had like texts. And we didn't even have we had separate MP3 players. So that's wild. And also, we're living in the AI era. Like, imagine them doing all their homework with ChatGPT, or taking tests right off the bat using ChatGPT. That, I think we need to ban. I think it's going to be very hard to actually make this happen, but there should be some kind of measure to filter out ChatGPT usage in colleges and universities as well too. It's I don't know how you're supposed to implement that, but yeah, somehow, like at least if it's like digital assignments, there should be like AI prevention tools or filter tools that show that, like that filter out AI generated responses. I'm sure there's tech for that, but if it's like a written exam or if it's just like homework, it's very hard nowadays to avoid the chances of a student using AI for their assignments. Yeah. So I don't know, all the engineers out there, all the AI experts, please make a way so that we have a bright future. And upon the apocalypse, we have actual people that know their shit, and we can survive, even if there's the ice age and we get trapped in a bunker. Yeah. So, anyways, yeah. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, smartphone usage needs to be reduced for kids. Great decision, all caps, says Bija. Reem says, I'm sorry, I just wanted to joke. It's okay. Okay. Yeah. Same thing in Texas. There was a statewide ban on cell and tablet use in schools. That's good. That's good. As far as it goes for tablets, though, I think as long as you disconnect the Wi-Fi or internet connection and ban some kind of apps on it, for tablets, I think it could be used a lot for educational purposes, especially for creative works like drawing or some other stuff. Maybe listening to lectures on the tablets or using it as visual aid. There are like AR kind of programs. Yeah, so 3D programs. So maybe tablets. But anyways, in general, yeah. Yeah, ChatGPT kills originality. Yeah, originality too, but also I think it just kills the ability of growing students to do comprehensive thoughts, like make an actual, like, a thought progress and up to a conclusion and actually memorize things and actually just embody the knowledge they've learned in school. Like if everything's done by AI, and one could argue, like, why do we need to even learn if we have our smartphones all the time and it's almost real time and AI could replace all that? But then why do human beings exist then? Right? Yeah. Totally agree with this. Phones are great for safety purposes, but nowadays with all the tech that already exists in classrooms, phones aren't needed. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, I think this is a big W for Korea. So hooray, nice. Way to go, Korea. Going in the right direction. Pretty rare. Okay, so actually another big W for Korea. Yeah, like Korea's been doing a lot of wins nowadays. So another rule change or law change that is upcoming, which is pretty surprising and a lot of people in the chat might like, is that tattooing by non-medical professionals set to become legal. So tattooing was illegal in Korea. You can have a tattoo. That is not illegal. Of course, there is some kind of negative stigma upon tattoos in Korea society-wise. But the practicing of a non-licensed person, a non-medically licensed person with like a doctor's license or something, like a surgical license or whatever, is not allowed to practice tattooing. So it was all under the counter. It was all like through DMs, and they couldn't really have like actual fronts that say like, oh, this is a tattoo shop and we practice tattooing here. So if you were to be caught technically and legally, you would either be fined or you would be penalized for that. And it was illegal until now. But because tattoos have become so common, young people, old people, men and women all get tattoos nowadays. All of my friends have little tattoos here and there. So because of that, the nonsense, like also another form of tattoos that are really popular in Korea is the eyebrow tattoos. A lot of people get eyebrow tattoos. So that's technically a tattoo too. So a lot of people claimed that it was nonsense to keep tattoos illegal, because like everybody's doing it anyways. Even the lawmakers know about it. It's actually a pretty decently big industry over here. It actually opens a lot of markets and like opportunities for young people to become tattoo artists. And Korean tattoo artists are among one of the best talent pools in the world. I don't know why. Maybe we have the dexterity with the chopsticks. But yeah, given all these facts, that it's just out there, people are being more open to tattoos, and we have safe procedures. Why not just legalize it and actually regulate it, actually make it more safe, and actually tax it, you know? So yeah, that's what's happening, and there has been talk in the parliament for legalizing that. And here you can see it's set to become legal. The National Assembly's Health and Welfare Committee passed the so-called Tattooist Act, which creates a licensing system for professional tattoo artists. Way to go. Yeah, great. Systemize it. If the bill clears the legislation and the Judiciary Committee and the full Assembly, non-medical practitioners will be able to obtain licenses for tattooing after passing a national exam. The Supreme Court ruled in 1992, when I was born, 33-year-old law ruling, that tattooing constitutes a medical procedure which made tattooing by non-medical practitioners punishable under the Medical Service Act. So, big win, I would say. Big W. Tattoos are legal in the U.S. You can even tattoo yourself. Wow, okay. A kid was considering unaliving himself. He asked ChatGPT, should he talk to his mom? No, what? He unalived him? What? Oh my God. Okay. About tattoos, though, never heard of medical professionals as tattoo artists. Yeah, it's a weird law in Korea. I mean, honestly, like, I guess it's dealing with, like, some sophisticated needles and procedures upon someone else's physical body parts and all that. So probably there needs to be some kind of level of sanitary procedures and all that. I have no idea. I've never gotten tattoos by myself. I followed Danny once, seeing him getting a tattoo, and they do it all very cleanly and all that. But I guess, you know, if you go to like shady places that don't have like the facilities or like the nice equipment or whatever. So like if you think about that, like regulating it and actually making it you know, like legal is better, right? So let's see. Tattoos are dangerous. Sadly, they can cause cancer. Colorful tattoos are much more dangerous than just dark blue color ones. According to doctors, they don't recommend them, so be careful, be wise and smart. Okay. I think David meant licensed tattoo artist instead of back alley shops. Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. Too many young Koreans are getting tattoos. It's actually concerning because they don't know the consequences they will face in Korean society having tattoos. Yeah, so sadly enough, I will have to say that there's a huge negative stigma against tattoos, still very prevalent in Korea. It's changing, I am saying, but it's a very small minority, only among the younger generation. So from the Gen Z to the millennials, people up to my age, or maybe like the 40s, like particularly in that pool, even among that pool, I think it's like below 30% that are favorable towards tattoos. Anyone above 40 and above, like 50s, 60s and above, they're all like, oh, she got a tattoo. She must be like a prostitute or like a gang member or like a low-life person or doesn't think about her future or blah, 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 blah. And even among the younger generation, that's the common view if you have a tattoo. Especially if you have like a sleeve or like a big ass tattoo, like a dragon. The dragon ones are specifically a sign, like it's like a gang member sign. It does pass down throughout some gangs, and it's a sign of like, you know, hostility towards the other person. So like if you go to a public bath and you see a person with like, you know, demons and dragons and tigers like covering half of their body or their shoulders or their backs, people won't normally go next to that person and shower there, because like they know like, oh, he's probably like a gang member or tied to some kind of physical activity and I don't want to mess with him. So that kind of negative stigma just traveled down. And you might ask, like, so is it okay to get like a little tattoo or whatever? I would say like a little cute tattoo, like a mini ribbon or like a little lettering or a teddy bear or a butterfly, wherever, like that's concealed with your clothes, or like even if it's out there, like it's just little, like this big or something like that, like the size of your thumb, whatever, that might be okay. Like people might see it and it's like, oh, that's cute, okay, yeah, like there's no hostility in that, especially women or males too. But if it goes over the size of your hand or whatever, and it covers like a big part of your arm or like your chest or whatever, people aren't going to look at you in like a gangster kind of way, but they'll be like, oh, that person doesn't think about their future or the consequences. That's a person that just lives in the present only, which is not bad, I would say, but it's very short-sighted. And because of that mindset, that person's probably very open-minded in Korean terms. Here, I'm not talking about like international open-minded terms. Oh, he or she is very open-minded and is pretty like open about like sex or like one nights or pretty, yeah, in that kind of sense. So that kind of tag follows you if you have like a big tattoo over here. And even if it's like a cute one, like let's say it's like a, I don't know, heck, like a ballerina, it's a huge ballerina or like a Pokemon or whatever on your sleeve, people be like, yeah, that person probably messes around, like sleeps with a lot of people, male or female, and they judge you a lot. And because it's like there are a lot of people on the internet, and a lot of people I know too, saying like, oh, if you see a tattoo, just don't associate yourself with that person, like filter them out, because like don't take the risk. You know, that person might be good in heart, and you might get to know that person, and like the personalities might be good and you might click or whatever, but why take the chances? There are a lot of people out there. Why take the chances? And there's been big data in terms of Korean society where people with tattoos tend to have, this is not scientifically or data proven or whatever, just people talking on the internet, tending to have more liberal and outspoken, aggressive or hostile or gang related or messy, independent, which Korea doesn't really like not in the sense of like, you know, self-sustaining or whatever, but like just like out of the box, not conforming to society, those kind of traits. So like, you know, might as well not associate myself with a person with tattoos, stuff like that. So there is a huge stigma, and this is reality, and people might be okay with you on the front, like, oh, that's a wonderful tattoo, because like they won't say anything bad to you in your face. So it's either option one, they won't even like interact with you because they see the tattoo and they'll be like, oh, nah. Or like they'll say it's okay in front of you, but in their actual mind, they're like, this person probably has these kind of values and they probably don't align with me. And I'm talking in terms of like maybe seeking a relationship or a keen relationship with the other person. Like if it's a third person, like, you know, a random person on the street you're having interaction with, you just bump into in the supermarket or an elevator or, you know, I don't know, class, they'd be like, I don't give an F. Like, I'm not even going to be friends with you, so might as be kind. Like, I'm not going to interact with you for more than a minute or like 30 minutes. So like, well, you have your own tattoo. It's your own freedom. You're not going to do any harm to me. So yeah, so whatever. They're going to not be very judgmental upon you. No, like they're not going to be showing that kind of attitude towards you right off the bat. But if you are being considered as like a dating partner or like a business partner or more serious stuff, like or travel mate or something like that, they'll probably judge you in the inside or outside. And that's just the reality. But as I told you, if you stick with the young people, nowadays a lot of people are just open-minded in a good way. And they'd be like, yeah. But you got to be careful too, because like a lot of people try to take advantage of people. Like the Hongdae boys. The Hongdae boys will actually be the ones that try to take advantage of that negative stigma, thinking that stigma and stereotype is true. And they'll go up to a girl with a lot of tattoos and say, oh, she's probably very open-minded. She probably is okay with having one-night stands, and she's probably messing around with a lot of guys. And yeah, like a lot of Hongdae boys might try to take advantage of that stereotype, which will backfire. But it's very sad. It's very sad. But yeah, the common, like when a lot of these like discourse or opinions clash on the internet between international and Korea, like a lot of international people are like, oh, Koreans are so close-minded, they're so stupid, like why can't they just see human beings as human beings? Tattoos don't represent, whatever, like you're not a gang member just because you have a tattoo. It's so normalized in the West, blah 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 blah. Everyone knows that narrative in Korea, but they're like, yet despite all of that, we're going to think like this, and we have our own stuff. And as long as we don't intrude in our own territories, we're not harming you. We're not harming whatever. So like you live your own life and blah, blah, blah. And that's going to be how it is. So, yeah, it's pretty frustrating. But the common argument I always see when they always clash is like from the Korean side, it's like, oh, try going, like, you don't know what you're talking about. Try going to the US and actually look at rich families, like upper, higher class families. Did you see one of the Trumps or one of the, I don't know, the Kennedys or like the Clintons or whatever, any one of them having a tattoo openly public? Or I have no idea if that's true or not, but they're like, the higher classes in the US and even Western societies, they don't get tattoos either. And I don't know if that's verifiable, but yeah, I've seen a lot of those comments. But yeah, so probably a lot of you are triggered in the comments, so let me go through and read some of them. I've probably triggered a lot of you guys, although this is not my opinion, I'm telling you. Yeah, I love Jungkook's tattoos. Yes, Jungkook has a sleeve, and he gets a pass because he's BTS, he's national hero. And I would still say though that there would be a fraction of people that view Jungkook as like the playful one of the group. Like he'd be like the menace, or you know what I'm saying, right? Because of his tattoos and his like piercings, because it's unconventional. But since he's BTS, they're like, oh yeah, I don't have any say in that. Like he's super successful, he can do whatever he wants. Yeah, he's like a superstar, and also he's a celeb. So celebs also get a pass too, because like if you're in hip hop or you're super successful, like Jay Park or yeah, all that. But the hip hop scene here, they have a lot of tattoos too, and they're very open-minded and very free way of lifestyle that doesn't really align with the commoners here, the average 9-to-5 worker, whatever. That also kind of strengthens the stereotype, I would say. Disease can occur if proper sanitizing is not done in tattoo parlors. Yeah, we should be careful. So I'm really I'm really advocating this new passive law and actually legalizing. I've wanted to get tattoos for so long, but I'm afraid once I start, it won't stop. I'll keep on getting new ones. Yeah, I don't know if I'll get tattoos. I'm down to, but because of the negative image in Korea, I'm a little hesitant to. So even if I were to get one, I would have to have something very meaningful to me that I really want to like actually engrave on my body. I don't know what it would be, but yeah. I don't like the idea of people's bodies being policed by the government. Good, the law is changing. That's how it used to be in the US. They are called tramp stamps on women who have them on their lower backs, just slight above. But, ooh, okay. But a lot of Korean celebrities have tattoos. Yeah, because they're in the entertainment sector. Yeah, they're like in the showbiz. So, Sean Solo open-minded. Every generation is different. In the States, sadly, kids don't listen to their parents. They do what they want. Raising kids in the States is so freaking hard and stressful. So much freedom drives kids so crazy. Don't listen. Tattoo social outcast in Korea. But you know what? Like, I'm telling you, the opinion's changing, and it's more like you do whatever you want. It's not doing any harm to me anyways. But if I were to get into a one-to-one relationship, a direct, close relationship with you, that's going to be a problem. That's going to affect my viewpoints with you. But if it's just like a random person, like you're an owner of a bar or whatever, and you have a sleeve, like people won't give an F. Like, oh yeah, a tattoo, nice. Yeah, go by on your day. Yeah. Mocha, never stop yapping. Thank you so much for the PLN 25 pizza. Thank you so much for the super chat. I will never stop yapping. Professional yapper for sure. Japan cares and judges tattoo way more than Korea because of the history with the Yakuza. Yeah, that kind of carried on to Korea, honestly. And Yakuza is strong, I would say, still in Japan. Korean gangs are a little bit watered down. Not that organized and mainstream as Yakuzas. But yeah, for sure. What if you get a tattoo? Would you get a pass? First of all, the immediate reaction from my family would be like, it depends on the size and the content of the tattoo, but let's say it's just like a cute tattoo or a lettering of a Bible verse or whatever. Even if it were a Bible verse, my mom would definitely roll her eyes, sigh, and mumble around like for probably a week, saying like, oh, I raised my son with so much love, and why is he doing stuff like that? Like, why do you always have to go against what your parents want? And like, why do you always have to be the one out of the box? Like, can't you be just normal people like all the Koreans? Like, you haven't thought of the consequences society's gonna give you, like what kind of negative image you'll be. You aren't even married yet. You should have done it after you got married or something. All the girls are gonna flee away from you. And the endless yapping I can hear, imagination in my mom's voice is like there. Oh, my grandparents. Oh, they'd be very, very disappointed with me if my grandpa was healthy and well, which I wish was the case right now. He would actually probably disown me, yeah, if I got a tat. But that's that. It's different generations and different viewpoints. My dad would be pretty chill, I think. Like he's like whatever for everything. But he'd be like, if it were before I got a tat, and if I were consulting with him, like saying like, Dad, I want a tat. Like, I'm thinking of getting this. He'd be like, yeah, like, you have your own freedom. You can do whatever you want. Just be careful. But like, maybe rethink it. He'd be in that kind of tone, I would say. Think it over. David, be honest, bro. You wouldn't allow your kids to have tats. No, for sure. No, look, I would actually give them my 2 cents and advice about not making abrupt decisions. Like if there's something very meaningful towards you and you want to put it on your body for decorative or significant purposes or whatever, think it over carefully, and if you really want it, go for it. But I would actually give them my advice of, but don't go too big at once, like try it out, like small things, and let's see how it goes. Just don't get a full sleeve from the get-go, that's what I'm saying, because you might always regret. Because even if, we're not even talking, I'm not even talking about societal perception over there. I'm talking about aesthetic purposes, and, like I'd advise my kids saying, imagine yourself in 60 years. You're at a pool. at a retirement home or whatever. Or imagine yourself, you're like 35 and you want to marry this girl. And this is an extreme case, but imagine you have like a giant ass dragon on your wrinkly skin, and the color is all faded out. Of course, you can color it over again, but like, do you think that vibe would match your 60-year-old self versus your current 20-year-old self? Like, think carefully over that, and if that's still okay with you, then go for it. That'd be my stance. But like, just don't make a decision that you'd regret aesthetically, based on your age and your visual and physical appearance now, and assume that it's going to be the same when you are older in a decade or like 20 years, 30 years from now on. Will you be willing to go through that painful and expensive process of maybe erasing it if you don't like it? So yeah, I just give my 2 cents on that, and if the kid's like, yeah, I still want to get it, like, go for it, yeah. Tattoos used to be viewed as taboo for bikers, prison. If you had a tattoo when I was growing up and you try to get a job, absolutely not in corporate America, hospitality, education. Yeah, I guess the conservative part of America still has that kind of culture, maybe. I guess you got your chill side from your dad. Yes, I own a lot of my chill side from my dad. I sound like a good son. Yes, I am a good son. I bought my mom dinner the other day for my birthday, because I have this principle. Okay, I was immature back then, and I wanted birthday gifts. I wanted allowance money. I wanted a good Hanu beef omakase. No, just kidding. I wanted a good Hanu dinner from my parents' credit card back then. But ever since I turned 30, I became more mature, and I'm like, they raised me up till now. They had to put through so much shit, so much of my tantrums, so much education bills. They raised me into a nice being, I would say, objectively, and I'm now self-sustaining. I'm earning a lot of money, so yeah, let me return the favor. And if you think about it, your birthday, essentially, like, you're celebrating for your existence put on earth. But actually, if you think about it, your mother is the person that suffered the most on that day. And it should actually be a commemoration for her. Because, like, she went through hell that day, probably, to give birth to you. So, yeah, that's how my mind shift changed. And it's like a couple bucks. So I'm like, yeah, it's on me, You guys are going to be retired soon, so, like, save that pension money. And your son is earning money now, and let me return the favor. So I think that's how it should be. These are my personal beliefs. But it's always good to give back to your parents. Yeah. In ideal cases. Of course, there are abusive parents. There are parents that, abandon their kids and all that. But I'm just talking about, like, in ideal settings, right? Yeah. You're a good mix of mom and dad's vibes, progressive but still socially aware. Yeah, that's called nunchi. I guess. I agree, I do the same with my mother. Yeah, we all have good hyojas and hyonyas in the chat. And people get ugly tattoos and big that can be very inconvenient and seen. Yeah. I wonder if Danny, my partner, I wonder if he doesn't regret getting those big ass tattoos on his arm. Danny has some pretty big tattoos, like I think most of his body, like I think both arms probably. He's working in corporate right now, so I wonder if he kind of becomes conscious about it when he's wearing short sleeves. Because, like, I've noticed when we're filming DK News together, he's always like, oh, I shouldn't say this kind of stuff. I should just tone down a little bit because, like, I'm in the corporate scene now and, like, people might be watching, and he's a little bit more careful and socially aware about his appearance and also his voice. So I wonder if the tats are a little regrettable on his side now that his environment and social position has changed I wonder. I'll have to ask him next time. We're actually doing a gathering in 2 weeks at Jin's house because Jin got a house with his girlfriend, and we're going to celebrate that. Housewarming. Okay. Let's move on from the tattoo topic. Go into Bitcoin. Okay, let's go into Bitcoin. Yeah, for sure. So, oh, yeah, let's go into Bitcoin. So, you might have joked about the Bitcoin thing, but I actually have Bitcoin news today, which is pretty stressful. So, okay, let me translate this to English so that you guys can see. So, this is pretty frustrating news to me. The number of coin millionaires in South Korea, those holding over 1 billion won in virtual assets, that's $1 million, has surpassed 10,000. According to the National Assembly's Planning and Finance Committee, their assets alone amount to a whopping 24 trillion won. By age group, those in their 50s accounted for the largest group at 36.9%. Of course, the people with the money, they already have a lot of funds in their portfolios for like gold, bonds, stocks, whatever. They probably diversified when their hedge fund manager or someone, consultant, came over and said like, Bitcoin is the shit right now. This is going to be the next asset, the gold, the digital gold. And they probably put in their, savings of $1 million casually lying in their pension account. And yeah, so 3,994 people in the 50s have more than $1 million in Bitcoin, followed by those in their 40s, 60s and older, and 30s and 20s. Upbit, which is like the exchange for Korea, was confirmed to be the most used exchange. Yeah, so I'm salty about this because I definitely don't have $1 million in Bitcoin. As much as I always talk and preach about crypto, Bitcoin, whatever, I am nowhere near that amount. Yeah, like I seem like this crypto millionaire always talking about it as if it depends on my life for the price to go up and that, all that, promoting it every single stream. But like when I saw this news, I felt so left out and so crippled because like I'm like freaking poor, Yeah, like it's these times when I feel deprivated and see the discrepancy, the disparity between the rich and the poor and the middle class. I wouldn't say I'm poor. I'm better off, and I'm privileged enough. But when I saw that article, damn, 10,000 people, more than 10,000 people in Korea. We have a population of 50 million people. And 10,000 people in their 50s, 60s, and 40s. These people probably don't even know how Bitcoin works. They don't even probably know the concept of a blockchain or a ledger. They probably just got financial advice from their consultant, financial advisor, and said like, oh yeah, maybe you should diversify in your portfolio. Maybe put like 1% of your earnings into Bitcoin. It's going to have a good return rate. And they just bought $1 million of Bitcoin. Damn. This is why the younger generation in Korea go crazy over stocks and Bitcoin and whatever, these speculative assets, because if we don't do that, we can't keep up with the inflation. We can't keep up with the rising prices of apartments. We become relatively poorer and poorer by the day just with labor income, and the banks aren't giving us interest. So how are we going to outperform inflation? The only way is to go into speculative assets, and a lot of people go in a bad route and bad results with that. But yeah, I'm very salty about this. Hello, Minji. Thanks for joining. Wait until people are 80 with full sleeves. Oh, okay. We're still on the tattoo subject. You just said you're rich. Am I rich? I've never thought I'm rich. Yeah, if I were rich, like, I'll be totally honest with you guys. I'm super sorry. But like, as a human being, my earthly thoughts to come out. If I had not $1 million, because like $1 million in this economy is not enough to actually financially retire you. I will say realistically, ballpark 3 mil to 5 mil, if I had that amount of money, I'm sorry guys, I wouldn't be doing YouTube or live streaming. And that's just the reality. I'm sorry that it shows my shallow self of, oh, he doesn't have that much passion after all, eh? But yeah, this is a source of living for me, and it's fun in the meantime, so I enjoy doing it, but it puts food on the table, and I'm just one of those average people just trying to live my life in survival mode over here. But if I had 3 mil to 5 mil, and I could invest that and get like, you know, passive income, dividends, yields, just, and live off of that, I would retire myself, go to Bali or Vietnam or wherever, and become a novelist and write sci-fi novels and do whatever the hell I want at home and scratch my balls all day eating Cheetos. And maybe I'd do some casual live streams here and there. But yeah, I'm just telling you. I'm just telling you. David, are you following the expected decrease in interest rates by the U.S. Federal Reserve? Yes. People are expecting Bitcoin value to increase in September. No, actually, a lot of people are telling me that September is going to be a horrible month for crypto in general. It's going to tank. It's going to tank more than 30%. Oh, the big correction's coming. And then when we're nearing the interest rate cuts, then it's going to skyrocket again and probably go at another all-time high. So, yeah, anyways, people are bored about this subject again, but I thought it was pretty interesting to show you that over 10,000 people in Korea have more than $1 million in Bitcoin. Damn, what am I doing with my life? Okay, there will always be people richer and poorer than you. Poverty is relative. Yep. I just said I'm rich? Did I? I'm not rich. Yep. Nobody judging, bro. By the way, calling mil is hella rich guy trait. Scratch balls and eat Cheetos anyways. Thank you. That's my dream, bro. Retiring in a tropical island, scratching my balls and eating Cheetos, and yeah, with my dog. This is not financial advice, okay? Big disclaimer. Whatever I'm saying is coming from the 2 brain cells I have. I'm a financially illiterate dumb shit. I'm a degen. So never listen to whatever I yap on about like financial investments or whatever, okay? Do your due diligence and own education on financial assets, especially speculative ones, okay? I lost all my money, I am losing my money, and I'm poor and I'm broke, okay? Let's get it out there. Okay, so I would appreciate some super chats and PayPals in the moment to help me survive. I should do a second channel on finances. No. I could do entertainment. Like I could day trade and lose money and make it a lesson for people out there. Look at this dumb ape losing all his money over gambling. Ha ha. Yeah, okay. So let's go to the next news. So Kim Jong-un, the most popular and favorite Korean out there in the globe. I think it's US's favorite Korean out there, the Rocket Man, Trump's favorite leader. I think literally he is his favorite leader. During the South Korean President Summit and the U.S. President, President Trump brought up Kim Jong-un a couple times, and he always says, like, I have a great relationship with Chairman Kim. We go along really well, and I've called him Rocket Man a few times before, but we have a great relationship. He always says he has a great relationship with Kim Jong-un, and yeah, I think he really likes him, and he really liked that photo op when he was at the DMZ, and it was pretty interesting hearing the behind the scenes. President Trump actually said during the summit, he said like he went to the DMZ and crossed over the line, and he looked both sides, and at the DMZ post there were North Korean soldiers in those little windows pointing so many guns at him, and he said that's probably the the first time in his life that he had so many guns pointing at him at the same time. And he was quite nervous, and that it was actually funny when he said the Secret Service was not happy. He was like, oh yeah, the Secret Service was not happy about that, and they were on the edge. I would be on the edge too. Technically he's in North Korea when he crosses that line, and if in any chance he gets abducted or whatever happened to him, it's full-fledged war, right? So anyways, I think he liked that iconic moment. And our president being a really nice suck-up, which was pretty interesting because, like, I never thought he would click with President Trump. But our president was very professional. He was very diplomatic, and he said really good lip service to Trump. And he actually said, like, without you, there wouldn't have been peace and with North Korea. And I think President Lee was like, you're the only person who can actually denuclearize North Korea or make better relationships with them. So please consider doing a summit and like maybe give efforts into reunifying Korea. And I think President Lee was trying to give him an idea of putting a nail in the coffin for the Nobel Peace Prize that Trump is apparently being nominated and recommended for. So I guess it is a known fact that he's mediated and got good results, maybe on how you look at it for current wars that have been going on. So a couple wars that have maybe temporarily ceased. So I think Trump is going to go for the Nobel Peace Prize, and he wants that. And I think President Lee latched onto that as a strategic move from his cabinet members, and they were like, okay, let's give this idea in his mind that if he were to come to North Korea again and get along with Kim Jong-un, get some pictures, do some talks, and if there were some peace movements going around, peace developments between the South and North, then that would be like that would be the last blow for the Nobel Peace Prize. Yeah. So anyways, yeah. But yeah, we're going on to the North Korean news. Well, the whole reason I'm talking about this is because Rocket Man actually shed some tears. Boo-hoo, he was very sad. I thought he was a psychopath, but he actually has a human heart. Yeah, so what happened is, let me show you this screen over here. This is Kim Jong-un, the Rocket Man over here. He held a large-scale... Wait, let me make that bigger for you guys so you can see the subtitles. So North Korean leader Kim Jong-un held a large-scale memorial service to console the families of soldiers of the bereaved that were sent to Ukraine. And yeah, you can just see what's going on in the videos, but I'll basically tell you what happened. So Kim Jong-un basically sent North Korean soldiers to the Ukrainian and Russian war. A lot of them died, and he actually sold them out for a particular amount of money that was already released. And it's very yeah, it's very disgusting in my opinion. It's very sad too. But what happened is a lot of them never made it back to their home country. So he organized this event for the bereaved members, and these people are holding their fathers, their husbands' photos, and he's giving like a speech to them saying that he's very sorry that he couldn't protect them, and he apologizes to the bereaved, and that he will take responsibility of the bereaved and the kids, and he'll adopt them to this specific academy that the country is going to approve, and they're going to take them into military service and treat them well. And he's actually going to build new apartments in Pyongyang, the capital, to accommodate the family members of the deceased soldiers. And he actually was crying during the speech and all that. So, of course, this is all for show. I mean, if he didn't even do this, this is the bare minimum you can do as a leader of your country. And I don't even know if these promises are actually going to be kept. I doubt it. I doubt it. I think this is all for show. Maybe there might be some example cases that are selected and be publicized on like the North Korean propaganda newspapers. But yeah, like you should, like, bro, you shouldn't have sold them for penny money in the first place to the front line where an active war is going on. And the fact that you sold them for money means that you were expecting them to not come back. So why are you acting like you're surprised and sad and you're genuinely concerned for them in front of the bereaved families? Like, that is typical psychopath behavior. I mean, everyone in the world knows he's like a dictator and psychopath. But yeah, it's just so infuriating seeing this happen. And I really do hope the family members do get some kind of justice. Like, their husbands, their fathers aren't going to come back. And I guess, you know, if you think in North Korean terms, it's brutal and cruel to say this, but North Korea is not exactly a country with good human rights, and they live in extreme poverty anyways. So some of the soldiers, I don't know if they were forcibly conscripted or some of them were voluntary, but if it were voluntary, I could imagine some fathers actually, some husbands actually voluntarily signing up for that, because maybe there were some guarantees or promises being made during the conscription. But yeah, if that is the case, I hope that these families do get some kind of compensation or justice. Yeah, but it's truly sad seeing this. This is another reason that our country should be reunified, reunificated soon. I don't know if that's going to solve the issues if we're two different countries, but definitely the interaction and opening of borders is going to make a shift in society. So yeah, I feel super bad. I feel super lucky. Like, Koreans always say we're super lucky because, you know, if you think about it, it's crazy. The odds of being born in the Korean peninsula, we're only 50 million, a small Korean peninsula, and all the achievements we're having and being put on the map right now with our soft power. But even among this region, the chances of being born in South Korea particularly, that is wild if you think about it. It's like a 50-50, just to simply put. But like, among the Korean ethnicity, being born in South Korea, not North Korea, that's like a huge strike of luck, even when you're born. Yeah. North Korean military conscription is super long. Yeah, it's like a decade or 12 years or something. I don't know if it's still like that, but yeah. Some deserted or were captured. Yes, I think 2 of them were sent to our government. Yeah, I think I covered some news about that. I haven't followed up on it, but he literally sent them to the slaughterhouse. Exactly, you know? That's yeah. Okay, a lot of people triggered about the Trump comments. Trump chasing the Nobel. Trump has someone recommend him. He hasn't done anything to earn the Nobel. He's the only one who thinks he deserves the Nobel Peace Prize. Everyone else is just sucking up to him. That's kind of true. The world leaders are like, yeah, you know, let's suck up to him. Maybe try to lower those tariffs. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Has South Korea considered the North Korean soldiers that survived becoming skilled soldiers and will be M? Okay, I think that comment was cut. But yes, this is truly sad, and yeah, he truly is a monster, I would say. That's what dictatorship gets. to you. Okay, going on to the next news. Speaking of military service, I think this was kind of funny. So, yeah, GD is protecting our country. GD's got you covered. And he was spotted in his uniform as he headed off for his reserve forces training. Now that he's discharged from the military, he has to do his reserve forces training. And yeah, it's made up of men who've completed their active duty but continue to serve for 6 more years. And each year they take part in short training sessions covering shooting practice, tactical drills, mobilization exercises, ready to be called up as the second line of defense in wartime or emergencies. And once those 6 years are up, they move into civil defense for 4 years. That's where I'm in. I think I've even finished that too. Wow, I'm that old. What? This stage is less about combat and more about disaster response, public safety, education, and basic emergency preparedness, protecting communities during natural disasters or crises. So yeah, he had to go to the reserve forces, but it's just news because like he posted on his, wow, he's going to the reserve forces in his Rolls Royce. Damn. And he called himself the Hannam-dong Protector. That's funny. He's the protector of his neighborhood. And he's, damn, is that a Hermes pillow there I'm seeing? Yeah, so GD went to the reserve forces. Something you can't see every day, right? So that was interesting. I got a good laugh from seeing that. Him rolling up to the reserve forces with a Rolls Royce. Yep. And we have some heartwarming news. I thought this was very warm news, so I just wanted to share. Because there's always been only negative news about Korea recently, and people like to jump on that. But yeah, this is some good things happening in Korea. So there was this international student, apparently, a foreign exchange student in South Korea, had the scare of her life when her tuition money, 1.13 million Korean won, about $815. That's a lot for a student, right? It was her tuition fee. Went missing just a day before the payment deadline. Oh my gosh, she must have been very anxious and nervous. Panicked and on the verge of her tears, she went to the police station with a friend, struggling to explain everything through a translation app. Oh, yeah, she wasn't even proficient with the language, so imagine her struggle. A few hours later, a woman in her 60s walked in holding the very same envelope untouched. She had spotted it on her way to work and after finishing her shift, headed straight to the police to return it. Wow, it was all in cash, the $815. The moment the student saw her money again, she burst into tears, hugging the woman and calling it one of the happiest, most grateful moments of her life. Miss Chung Soon-ja. Shout out to Miss Chung Soon-ja. The Good Samaritan simply said anyone would have done the same. Still, it feels good to know that I helped. Moments like this are a beautiful reminder that kindness truly connects us all. Look at this. Look at this warm photo over here. Aww. Aww. Yeah, my heart is melting. See? Like, Korea is a nice place after all. We're very kind to foreigners and internationals here. And as Jung Sun-ja nim said, I would have done the same too. Like, I am... Like, no doubt, there is not a single inch of my heart that would have thought, like, oh, let's take this money for myself. If it was $1 million, maybe. But if it's like $800, you know, it's probably someone's important money. It's probably someone's hard-earned money. And if it's dropped on the street, someone might be looking for it and sweating over it and super anxious. So definitely, yeah, I would have returned it too. And a lot of Koreans would have done the same. I would say over like 70%, 80% would have done it. And also, like, by law, like, if you want to go that way, by law, if you are to just like not return it, you could be punished too. And there's a lot of CCTVs here too. So yeah. So yeah, good deed, very good deed. She should get a award for that, or a reward for that. That is awesome. Great story. I love Korea. Thank you, Esther. There's good everywhere. It's nice to see good human beings. It was in Busan. Yes, it was in Busan indeed. See, I told you, Busan people hit different. They have so much Chung. Those cold-hearted people above there in Seoul. Such amazing news. Truly love this about Korea, where you just don't take anything that doesn't belong to. Yeah, exactly. Like if you are in a bus, you leave your phone or wallet or whatever, or you like lose your wallet, people will send it back to you through the post, or they'll just go to like the nearest police station or the metro station, and yeah, they'll just say like, oh, for lost and found. And if you have an ID card or some kind of way to contact you, they will contact you. So it's a very safe and nice country. Yeah. Hello, Shireen. That's awesome. Long time no seen. Yeah. Hello. Welcome. Except if it's a bike. Yeah. And a bike and umbrella. I've gotten my umbrella stolen 2 times. That sucks. I don't know what it is about bikes. Actually, my electric scooter, my electric, what do you call it, thingy, was stolen. Yeah. Every place has its thieves. So the bicycles and the electric scooters and umbrellas. So for umbrellas, I don't think it's intentional, quite honestly. So what happens is you usually go into a restaurant and they usually have like an umbrella holder in front of the door. And there's usually like 30 umbrellas all stuffed in there. And most of them are black and they're indistinguishable. And some people might get confused and take your umbrella. So yeah, if you go back and you look for your umbrella, it's not there. That's happened to me twice and I got super stressed because umbrellas, the amount of umbrellas I had to buy because I lost them, not because someone stole them, because I lost them, quite honestly. Because I've left them in restaurants. Like there are occasions where you go to school or restaurant, you plug in your umbrella, and after work you get out and it's stop raining and you forget to bring your umbrella, then it's completely lost, right? So I think I've bought more than 20 umbrellas ever since I became an adult. So each umbrella is like $5. If you buy the clear ones, the plastic ones, they're like $3. But if you add all of them up, 20 umbrellas, that's over $100 only on umbrellas. Damn. Yeah. David, how much does a person in Korea need to make to say they're doing well financially here? That's very subjective. But just doing well financially, does that mean rich or a little bit above middle class? So I would say if they're doing well financially, well is if you earn maybe 100K per year in salary, that's like doctor or professional or manager level at a big company, Samsung, something like that. That would be well off. And I think it's livable even if you have like a 50K to 60K salary. That's even a lot. That's actually a lot too. That's actually a lot. Yeah, 50K to 60K is a lot. But as I told you, my standard of like well in Korea would be like 100K and above. But most people have a salary of like 30K to 40K. That's the norm. And yeah. Get a colorful umbrella. That's a way to. Yeah. Buy a bright pink umbrella. Okay. Umbrellas, isn't that how romances start in Korea? I've never seen a real life case. Maybe somewhere. If you're handsome and you suddenly spot a girl stranded in the subway station and like, oh, 어떡해, and like, unfold the umbrella for her. And like, where are you going? Where are you headed? I'll take you. My dad doesn't buy umbrellas anymore due to losing them so frequently. I can relate to your dad. Is it easy to travel in Korea if you don't know how to speak or read Korean? I want so much to go, but I'm worried about that. I'll probably go alone. I can assure you 100% that it's super easy and convenient. You have English everywhere in written and verbal forms. Like there are English announcements, there are English, if there's Korean, there's English beneath. So don't worry about that. And I think a lot of people in the chat who have been to Korea can vouch for that. Yeah, it's very easy. No worries. Yeah. And even if you were to speak to people, well, some people would be shy speaking in English, but they all have basic English capabilities. So some people are like, oh, no English, I'm sorry, and they just go. But just try a few more people and someone will, like, especially young people, and they'd be okay with English. Yeah. I watched too many dramas? Maybe I did. Okay. So how long have I been streaming? Let's see. Is the lag? Is there a lag or anything? 2 hours, okay. And 300 people, 325 people. Hit that like button for me. Do me a favor, please. And let's go on with some more news. So you can see how classist Korea is becoming. There's a lot of backlash about this, but Korean Air's new premium class stirs debate on comfort trade-offs. Korean Air's recent cabin overhaul, which introduced a new premium tier between business and economy class, has raised eyebrows for tightening space in economy seats, prompting concerns over service quality and compliance with conditions tied to its merger with Asiana Airlines. Earlier this month, Korean Air announced the launch of a new 40-seat premium class across 11 retrofitted Boeing 777 aircrafts with fares around 110% higher than those of standard economy. Okay. I'm confused with the 110% higher. Does that mean like a 10% increase from economy? I think that's what it means, right? Yeah, it doesn't make sense that it's like double the price or something. Yeah, probably a 10% increase. While the airline promoted the new 242 cabin configuration as a comfort upgrade with revamped interiors and enhanced services both in-flight and on the ground, the controversy has centered on the redesigned economy layout, which shifts from a 333 to a denser 343 configuration. Damn! So we'll really be sitting in chicken cages now. And we'll feel worse when we're sitting in economy. It's already worse with the first class and the business and economy. At least economy was the majority now. And all the normies were all stuffed back in the economy where everyone's farting in your faces and burping and all that, right? We're in a gas chamber essentially. But it now just got worse. Now there's another class in front of us. Yeah, so way to go, Korean Air, and making us feel, us normies, more miserable with our lives that we can't afford. I mean, frugal people like me will never go and fly premium. Like, a plane for me is just a thing for me to get from point A to point B. That's it. And even if I were loaded, I wouldn't take business or first class. That's a fact. Like, if I were to have $10 million, if I were to have $1 million, I wouldn't go fly business or first class. If I was Bill Gates, then I would do that. Because, like, that's like chump change for me, right? But if I had a decent amount of money, for me, flights are just like, you know, literally a transportation, and I don't want anything premium in between. I don't need that. I just close my eyes, and I'm happy with my chicken cage in economy. So I would never do that. Little Flower, thank you for the $10 pizza. Just want to thank you for all your live streams and videos. I learned so much and really enjoy your company and your followers. Thank you so much. Pizza, pizza. Yeah. So, you know, but like, I don't know what's happening with Korea and Korean Air. Like, they say it's like an upgrade for their revenue model, but a lot of people are saying that it's because of the merger with Asiana Airlines, and those two were the biggest airlines in Korea. But since they merged, there's no competitor, so it's basically a monopoly, and Korean Air is already gearing up to make changes that is not favorable in the consumer's point of view. So, yeah. I don't like this change. Yeah, 343 is going to be too tight. There's going to be no room in between the aisles. Yeah, I don't even know how the cart's going to fit. But they're probably going to get rid of like the little teeny bits of spaces between like the seats and make a 343 setting. But new premium class, maybe if I'm sponsored, I could ride it. Yeah. But nah. Maybe if I get old and I get back pain and it's unbearable, then I can maybe consider business. But first class, never in my life. Never. I really don't understand. Okay, like, I'm not judging like mega rich, filthy rich people. They can do whatever they want with first class, like $10,000 tickets or whatever, $5,000 tickets. But I know people that have similar financial statuses as me, and they just fly business and first class to flex, maybe. I don't know. It's their own money. They can do whatever they want with it, but for me, that's like, oh, that's such a waste. Yeah. Yeah. Make the seats smaller, maybe more narrower, and yeah. Eunice, hello, just joined the live. How's your grandpa, David? Hope he's doing better. Yes, he's more stabilized. That's the reason I came to Busan. Yeah, the nurse actually let us know that the very critical state has passed, and he's still in a critical state, but it's gotten better than when we were actually summoned. So hopefully he stabilizes even more, and yeah, let's see. Well, I'll have to see. If I had 10 million and I was flying internationally, I would fly first or business. For 10 million? Okay, maybe 10 million, yeah. I don't know. Even if I had 10 million. 1 million, definitely no. 10 million? Maybe. But I'd love to have that experience if it was not out of my pocket. I'd like to fly first or business class at least once. Me too. Isn't that everybody's dream? But in reality, if it's out of my pocket, I'm just saying I'd never do it. If I were invited to like an event, I don't know, KCON or a conference or whatever for business, and they're willing to pay business, they're willing to pay for me, then business, first class, let it be, yes. I think I did get an upgrade back then when I was traveling with my mom once. It was I think it was a trip to Singapore. Yeah, when I was going on exchange or something. And I think they gave us a free upgrade because of some kind of situation, but I don't remember. Because, like, I had a meal, and I had extra leg room, but the flight only lasted, like, 6 hours or something like that. So it didn't really have that much of a big impression. Hey, Nima delivering with the super chat. Thank you so much for the 25 pizza. Happy belated birthday. Yay. Thank you so much for the confetti and the cake. And oh, Berit, thank you for joining Patreon with the 30 DKK. Thank you so much. Hey, let's go. David, it's no flex. When you get older, you just don't want to deal with shitty behavior in economy. I've done business and it was not as comfortable as economy plus. I only fly economy plus to ROK. What is economy plus? I don't even know what that is because I'm such a peasant. My only option in booking a plane has only been economy, like straight to economy. Like the other ones I don't even consider. But as I told you, like if I get older and if I get back pain, I don't know, I wouldn't even travel at that point. If I had to, if it was for business or like seeing family or something, then maybe. But it would still tear me apart inside, that extra amount of money, thinking of what I could get with that value of money. Let's say, I don't know, like a standard trip from Seoul to LAX is usually sometimes when it's cheap it's like $1,000, I think $800 to like $1,200 in that range. I think I might be outdated. It might be COVID terms, I don't know, but let's just say $1,000 just for convenience. And if I had to upgrade to business, and because I have no clue how much business costs and how much of an upgrade it is, I know that first class is like up there, but let's say business is like maybe, would it be $2,000, like double the price? Or is it like 50%, $1,500? Okay, let's just assume it's $500 or $1,000 more expensive. Wow, with $500 and $1,000, wow, that would be a good ass hotel suite with a 5-star swimming pool, maybe a Michelin omakase experience, or some supreme clothes, or I don't know. So much you can do with that much money, but you're just wasting it on the air, that for a plane that's getting you to a destination and you'll get off and it just evaporates after that. You could say the same thing for food, but I think there's like a much richer and bigger experience and tastier experience you can get for like fine dining. I don't know, each and every one to yourself with your own values, but unless it's back pain for me, I would never. Yeah. 8K? What? I got to fly first class twice. Oh, you are so blessed. Both times were upgrades. Wow. Why do I not get lucky? So recently I've been pretty lucky with my flights because I've always sat near the emergency seats, like the door seats with the extra leg room, and right in front of the flight attendant. And I think like I got like 100% ratio of flying next to the emergency seats or either the front aisle. And this is my theory, okay? Like this might be a pro tip, but this is my theory. So unintentionally, okay? You guys know how I'm a last minute person. I'm always late. I almost missed my plane to, where was it? Yeah, I almost got rejected in entering the UK. That's another story, but I almost missed my plane to, where was it? Sweden? No, Denmark. I was going to Singapore first. I almost missed my plane, but the problem is I book my flights, but I always forget to do the online check-ins for some reason, okay? Like I'm always like super busy and I always think that's like such a a no big deal manner. It's like trivial. So I don't really care to do the online check-ins. And I get those alarms, like SMS messages, and I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, I'll do it tomorrow. And I forget about it. And that's probably like what happened is I go to the gate and I'm always last because I'm always like, oh yeah, why do I have to go 3 hours before? I'll just probably go like 1.45 minutes before, just before the gate closes and the line's all out. And you know, it's the same whether you go in first or come in last or whatever. So yeah, I go to the gate at the last moment, and just before the counter is closing, and I go to the clerk, and she usually says to me like, oh, there's actually an emergency seat available and you seem pretty tall and you need to sign like these terms and conditions that you will put your safety before, the passenger safety before, when in case of emergency. And I'm like, hell yeah, sign me up for that. And that's happened to me like multiple times, and I'm assuming it happens because they save at least one seat for like a good physically, you know, a male that has good physical. And I'm usually the one that doesn't do online check-in and doesn't designate my seat, so they'll have to randomly designate my seat at the counter, and that seat's left, and they look at me and they're like, oh yeah, you go for the emergency seat. So I don't know if this is true or not, or this is a hack, or this is just a streak of luck, but that's happened to me for the last like 3 or 4 flights, and I've been abusing it. One day I'll learn my lesson of not checking in and getting stranded, but so far it's been good. Last minute, you have nerves of steel. I know, my mom always wants to die because she sweats seeing me going to the airport. Yeah. 3 to 5K business class tickets to Incheon to LAX? Hell no. $3,000 to $5,000 on a plane flight? You gotta be kidding me. I mean, it's your money, and if you're hella rich, like whatever, spend it whatever way you want. If it gives you comfort, if you have back pain, whatever, it justifies that. But in my current position, status, financial status, 3 to 5K in a flight is diabolical. Wow. With that money, I could pay my living costs for, damn, for a year, like purely on food and utility bills and all that. Wow, that is crazy. And all I have to do is just go sit in the chicken cage and smell some fart. Okay. The last time I booked a flight to Korea from London, I booked 6 hours before to see if it drops in the price at the end. Okay. Sometimes I love that David is... Yeah, a lot of people, including my mom and my friends. My mom isn't surprised anymore. She's like, oh, you're so cheap. Like today I went to Shinsegae department store together. And because of the parking, we have to buy something, right? Like $20 worth of something for an hour of parking. And I was looking around. We went to Uniqlo, we went to Mushinsa Standard, we went to Zara, H&M, and all these other flagship stores and whatever. We even went to the food court, and I was like, you know what? Like, I don't really need any of these. Like, I got clothes. I don't need new clothes. I'm not feeling hungry just for the sake of getting the parking bill. So, like, let's just go. And my mom was like, no, but we got to pay the parking fee. I was like, yeah, the parking fee is probably going to be like $6 to $7. Like, why do we have to buy a $20 something for the $6 to $7? And she's like, no, I'm not going to pay the parking fee. Like, if we came to a department store, at least buy something, and, you know, you can wear it or you can eat it or something, and that will offset the parking fee. Like, that's stupid if you just pay the parking fee and go. And okay, I was like, maybe you have a point. Yeah. So like that seems reasonable enough. So I told her, so you come here often, right? My mom loves to go to Shinsegae. Like she's a frugal person too, so she doesn't like having the aircon on at home. So she evacuates herself to the department store every single day using public transportation and goes hang out in the bookstore and reads books for free. Maybe I got the genes from her, but yeah. So I was like, yeah, you're probably gonna come here within the next week, right? And she was like, yeah, probably. I'm gonna hang out with the other ajumas. I was like, okay, let's just go to Uniqlo, buy something over $20, and then you can come and return it. And that actually works. Like, if you have the receipt, you get out parking free, and then if she's gonna return anyways, like she can come with that and return it and get a refund. So, and she was like, 경수야, 그렇게 살지 마라. That means like, don't live like that. It's good being frugal sometimes, but that's not good manners. That's not respected manners, like attitude. That makes you look cheap, ugly, and not good as a social human being. And I'm like, F that, Shinsegae, like this Samsung family chaebol company isn't gonna care about my parking fees if I take a refund or whatever. Like, they're raking in money where I'm struggling to survive here. Like, I'm struggling to pay my health insurance and my utility bills, and I'm streaming and like I'm being a clown. I'm just kidding. But yeah, and like I'm gonna do whatever I can to not pay those parking fees. And I had a huge ass debate with her, and she's like, 경수야, 그렇게 살지 마라. 내가 그렇게 가르쳤니? Did I teach you like that? I'm like, no, but you taught me to be a money saving person, so that's what I'm trying to do. And there's no there's no loss in doing that. So yeah, that happened. Yes, big sigh. You sighed with my mom. That's 8 months rent. 5K is a lot. Yeah, I know. I sent a PayPal. Yes, let's check the PayPal. That's why I love money, money, money. Holy shit! Let me curse here. Anna from NYC. Damn, with the 88 USD. Woo! Happy belated birthday. Pizza! Thank you so much, Anna. You made my day. You made me not sad about being old as F. Thank you so much for the PayPal. Woo! Okay. And another one from Betty. Thank you for the 20. Happy birthday, David, from Bija. BJ. Okay, it's BJ. Okay, sorry. Thank you so much, pizza. Yes. I'm so glad that I didn't pay that $20 at Uniqlo. So yeah. Anyways, Mom was over it. As long as it's not a small business. I know, right? This is a conglomerate. This is like a evil capitalistic money earning company. Yeah. Parking ticket money. I know, right? Yeah, I paid my gas fees to get here, and gas fees are expensive. Such a thoughtful gift from Anna from NYC. Yes. Thank you so much. Okay, yeah, I got kind of triggered with that premium class thingy. But okay, let me just text my dad real quick, because I told him that we're going to be going home at 1 a.m., but it's already 1:30. So let me just let him know real quick. And yeah, 조금 더 늦어져서 한 15분 내로 끝날 듯. Yep. There you go. Yeah. So, yeah. Okay. Okay. So, yeah. On to the next news. We only have a few news left. And since someone talked about Costco in the chat, I think I saw it. We have some news about Costco in Korea. Okay, let me get the light up here again. I'm using my phone flashlight. Okay, one question. Let's answer that question before we go on. Eunice says, can I ask if my recommendation for Busan is valid? My sis going to Busan soon with 2 kids. I suggested that she should stay 2 nights in Haeundae and 2 nights in Seomyeon. If she's with kids, I would recommend... Okay, it depends on what you're going to see. Haeundae is a nice place to stay, definitely. It's in front of the beach. But I prefer Gwangalli. I would recommend Gwangalli a little bit more. So the good hotels, like the 5-star ones, are in Haeundae. So if you want a little bit top-notch, go to Haeundae. It has nice vibes there too, and you can travel along to Gwangalli Beach and get the lively vibes over there too. Gwangalli is a little more for like younger people, I would say. So yeah, either way, Haeundae 1 night, Gwangalli 1 night, or Haeundae 2 nights, that works. For Seomyeon, it really depends because Seomyeon is like a clubbing area and it has like a department store, and it's the older part of Busan, a little bit more central part of Busan. But if the functionality of staying in Seomyeon is to branch over to older parts of Busan, such as the Chagaochi market or the Gukje market, or going to Gamcheon Cultural Village or Nampodong or those other places, and you want to not travel that much from Haeundae and just from Seomyeon, then it's okay. Like you're in the middle part of Busan. But if you're in Seomyeon because of other reasons, like, oh, you've heard that it's like a busy district, it's popular and all that, there's not going to be a lot to do unless you're like in your early 20s and drinking outside and going to pubs and clubs. So yeah. And Seomyeon is a little bit like the older part. So I don't know if there's going to be quality hotels over there, but yeah, that's my 2 cents. So there you go. Hope that works. And Lynn, thank you so much for the 20. Pizza, have a very happy birthday. Thank you so much, Lynn. You're always so generous. Thank you so much. Pizza. Oh, I'm gonna have pizza tomorrow. Actually, I had Costco pizza, like a slice of it, 1/2 of it, because my mom came back from Costco the other day. I wanted to follow along. I want to tag along with her because I love going to Costco for some reason. I don't buy anything, but I just love the American vibes. That's what I love about America, the abundance. Like wow, like you're in Costco and you feel like you're in America. And those vibes aren't easy to get in Korea. And you go there, you go to the what do you call it? The poultry, the meat section, and you see those big loaves of meat, the red meat, the beef, and like those pork and all that, like bread, like this big, and like big portions and big servings of everything. I just get happy seeing that for some reason. I don't buy it, but I just get so happy for some reason. And you look at the pizza and the bulgogi bakes, I love it. But yeah, I always just get like a sliced pizza. And yeah. But Costco requires a membership. So you have to pay an annual fee. So I usually just reach out to a friend that has a membership and I give him like, you know, a tip and borrow his membership and just go, hell yeah, brother, with the eagle sound. The way you say abundance, how do I pronounce it? Abundance? 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 Professional yapper strikes back. You sound so happy, you make me happy and smile. That's good. Yeah. Oh yeah, you spent too much traveling time during Haeundae. Yeah, then I would say Gwangalli is a good medium too. Medium point. But yeah, hell yeah, I love American vibes. Yep. But we don't have no pickup trucks here hauling all that stuff. But oh, those carts, they're gigantuous. But yeah, speaking of Costco, going to the news. Okay, I don't want to make my dad wait. So, next news. How a new Costco tore a Korean province in half. So, Costco's are already pretty prevalent in Seoul, Busan, in the big cities. But in this one, in North Jeolla's Iksan isn't that much of a populated city, quite honestly. It's usually like a passing point where it branches out to other cities of Jeolla province. So in North Jeolla Iksan in 2020, it was never going to be an easy process. Opening a discount store in the country often takes more than a decade. A firm needs to talk to the landowners, negotiate terms with surrounding businesses, and receive various government approvals. But what the company didn't expect was fierce opposition from supermarket cooperatives, not from Iksan, but from Wonju County and the nearby city of Jeonju. Costco is big in Korea. The Washington-based big box retailer has logged sales growth every single year since 2000, bringing in 6.53 trillion won, $46 billion last year, even as Korean rivals like E-Mart and Home Plus struggled with stagnation. Its store in Yangjae-dong of Seocho District, southern Seoul, was famously the world's highest volume Costco in the early 2000s. Really, the world's highest volume? That's insane. Oh my gosh. But yeah, like me, you could see my enthusiasm. Everyone loves Costco. Before we go on, go Karen! Thank you so much for the $10. Happy birthday. Thank you so much. My daughter turned 25 on August 28th. She's a gorgeous Brit-American actress and movie makeup artist. Look up her, Gabrielle Chamberlain. I really love your show and personality. Way to go for her. Wow, I'm sure she's beautiful. May I look her up on stream? Or, yeah, I'll look her up. But anyways, thank you so much. And yes, I got a notification from Shireen. Thank you so much, Shireen, for the 25. Happy belated birthday. Thank you so much. Pizza. I'm getting a big pizza from Costco tomorrow. Yes. Thank you. Thank you so much. But yeah, going on with the story again. Yeah, a lot of people love Costco in Korea, even among myself. I remember how thrilled I was to have Costco. I remember how my mom was so happy to have Costco in Busan. I think there's a couple now, but so many people go because Costco, it's actually a lifesaver in a lot of terms because they sell in bulk and it's a discount store, so it's very, good for in this economy. And yeah, so a lot of people go there. There's a lot of diverse range of products that aren't sold in Korea, especially like the Costco in-house brand, Kirkland. They have a lot of good quality products. I have a lot of granola bars from there. I have some like sweatshirts, t-shirts from there. They have their own like milk brands and all that kind of stuff, and they're pretty cheap too. They're like wholesale, right? So yeah, Costco is pretty good. But like in rural cities, like in less populated cities like Wonju and Jeonju, the supermarkets and the local marts over there, I can understand why they're concerned and they would protest a lot because all of the people from those adjacent neighbored cities, the people from there would travel 30 to 40 minutes by car and go to Costco and buy the good stuff over there in a cheaper price, right? So it's definitely going to affect the sales of the local supermarkets. And one could argue that's how the free market works and that's how competition works. But, like there should be some considerations when you're dealing with like local businesses against like global conglomerates and wholesales, right? So there is actually a law in Korea for supermarkets like E-Mart, Costco, and all that. Every 2 weeks, every other 2 weeks, during the weekends, these mega marts can't open because there was a lot of backlash and protest from the local market sellers that everyone would just go to these big marts and buy there because there's air conditioning, there's parking. They can sell, they buy in wholesale and sell in wholesale, and discounts, and they have like cultural centers, movie theaters, restaurants inside. So who would want to go to these like stuffy, hot, maybe unsanitary local marts? And yeah, so, but because we had to look out for those businesses that had been operating there for decades too, yeah, I think the government made that kind of law, and a lot of people till this day kind of criticize that law because it's useless. That people will just wait out and go to the mart and get discounts anyways. So what effect does it have? I don't know, but yeah. Hoodie gang gang, yes. Oh no, D is a chunk older and she would slap me. What? Okay. I don't know what that means, but yeah. Support Costco. That company is amazing and still believes in DEI initiatives unlike Target, Walmart, Sam's Club. Okay. Costco pays their employees a little higher than other similar stores. It pays its employees well. And that offends people? What? Really? You don't need membership if you have Costco gift vouchers. If your mom has membership, you can... Yeah, she has membership. If I go in Seoul, yeah, I don't have membership, so... You can get a card from her. Oh, really? I didn't know that. Oh, really? I didn't know that. Okay. Yep. That's good news. I'll ask her next time I have to go to Costco. But I don't go to Costco that often, quite honestly, because I live alone and I don't buy in bulk. I just go to E-Mart. It's like 5 minutes away, like walking distance. So I just go there, buy my pack of almost expired sushi that sells for $7. Enjoy it for the night. Yeah. Okay. Okie dokie. So I think I will do this one last news and end the stream. So this is pretty interesting. If you've been to Itaewon, in the recent years, there's been this very hip cafe. I don't know what the hype is behind it, because it's just a very industrial looking rundown building. They did minimal interior, and it's a cafe called Anthracite, whatever you pronounce it. Anthracite, that's the Korean way you pronounce it. But it's hard to not notice while you're passing by the main road of Itaewon to Hannam. And all the hip people, all the fashionistas, everyone would just gather there. And I guess the selling point of this place is that they have like outdoor stalls where you can sit and soak in the sun and people watch. And it's next to the Hyundai playground place. So, you know, a lot of people just gathered there. And yeah, they just enjoy the sun. And even on the second, third floor, it's just very industrial. So, yeah, I went there a couple times, but I didn't really see the appeal to it. But apparently it's closing, and it had their last closing day. I saw a lot of my friends go there too. Subini was there too, partying, I think. They had DJs and stuff. They opened until late. But yeah, oh yeah, I'm not showing you the screen, am I? So this is how it looks like. This is Anthracite, and look at how many people gathered for a cafe closing event. They're very sad. And there was a police and a police line too. And they had like a flyer up saying like, thank you for loving Anthracite until now. But I'm sure if you have been to Itaewon, you've come across this building. It's pretty hard to miss, right? So, Anthracite. Let me show you how it looks like in normal days. This is how it looks like. So, yeah, it's just like that. There's nothing really special about it, you know. Oh, there's a place in Yeonhee, but so Itaewon. Yeah, this is how it looks like. It just looks like a old building. I don't know. I don't really get the hype, but a lot of trendsetters and influencers used to go there, and this is the inside. The floor looks like it's from a 60s factory or something. Yeah, it doesn't even have that much seats. Maybe the coffee's good? I'm not a coffee person, so I wouldn't be able to judge. But like, you know, people would, well-dressed people would just sit there outside and people watch and all that. So yeah, anthracite is gone. If you've been to Itaewon and you can relate, then and you're revisiting somehow solely for that cafe and you find it to be demolished, then too bad. Too bad. Yeah. Uh-huh. Okay, so nobody's interested in that cafe. Yep, so I think that is it for today. I'm really, really grateful for everyone who tuned in. Don't leave, don't leave, don't leave. 316. Oh, and immediately 20 people left. Yeah, I shouldn't say that like, oh, thank you for watching today. But yeah, anyways, thanks for watching today. Thanks for all the happy birthday gifts. I'm really blessed to have so many people wishing me happy birthday. And thank you so much for all the PayPals and Super Chats especially, and all the Patreons that signed up. Go to Patreon if you want to hear more in-depth and intimate stories from me and about society in Korea, all that. Only $5 to $10. It really supports the channel a lot. And as I told you, I have a scheduled live for tomorrow at 6:30 p.m. to show you Busan, but just to put a disclaimer, I do not know whether I'm going to be able to do it 100% because of the weather. If there's heavy rain, there's no way I can do it. I can pull it off. So that's that. If I'm going to do it, I will let you guys know on Discord or my Instagram. Actually, I'll put it on my Instagram story so that I can get you guys to follow me. So, yeah. So, yeah, not a lot of people have Discord too, right? So just go follow me on Instagram at justdavid_92 and go check out my recent post and like it. Give it a like too and give it a comment as well too. And if you click on the story here, if you see an update, I'll probably post whether I'll be able to do the live stream or not. So yeah, I'll post it up here. I don't feel like the YouTube community post reaches a lot of people. I do put up announcements there, but not a lot of people seem to see it. Or maybe you just like pass through it without liking it. But yeah, I'll post it on Instagram, justdavid_92. Here, go over here. I'll just like put it here in the chat. The link over here in the chat as well too. And Daja Hao, welcome. But you came in the last portion, yes. And thanks everyone for tuning in, and I will see you guys next time, hopefully tomorrow. Yes. And oh, let me ask for a favor for you guys. So actually, I'm submitting all these live streams I did for the Gyeonggi-do 1인 creator, the campaign over here on, am I pointing right? Yes, for this program over here, and they evaluate whether I'm a good creator or not depending on watch time. So if you have the extra luxury, or you're at work, you use Chrome or whatever, just put up a Chrome tab for me, turn on like a playlist of my live streams, and just put it on mute and on the background, and you don't even have to watch it, but that enhances my watch time, and it could benefit me in getting to the next round of that that program, and it could financially benefit me as well. It supports me financially to make content. Yeah, it's a great program. So yeah, okay, great. Thank you so much. Love Grandpa, get well soon. Thank you for the great wishes. Love the new business profile picture and the white background. Thank you so much. Bye bye everybody. Lynn, bye. Karen, bye. Okay, bye. Eunice, bye. Bija, bye. BJ, bye. Feel the vibe, bye. Hopefully, see you tomorrow.